Evening all, welcome back to Starbound. Right, today we're going to show you, well, this is, I think, the last boss battle, at least the current, in the current series, or rather the current modes. This is, I think, the last one. So what we're doing here is, this planet suffers from poison rain, acid rain, but it's like proper acid rain, so this actually hurts me if I wander over it. So what we're doing is we're preparing our final arena in this, quote, poison planet, which, yeah, isn't great, but I'm going to cheat here. One of the new additions, once you get the tech to do it, is sentry guns, and as you see here, I am loading a kind of platform of sentry guns. Now, I love this premise that you can actually build turrets. This was one of the things in Terraria I really did like. In fact, I liked it a huge amount, to the point where I probably spent most of my time actually farming traps, because I thought the traps were really good fun. So basically this is what I'm going to do here. Now, I don't know if these traps, oh, I just lost the gun now, that sucks. Anyway, I don't know if these sentry guns actually will shoot against bosses, but hey, it's going to be fun finding out, isn't it? So I'm really quite keen to do this. Now, I know that this last boss thing was actually quite a tough one when I fought him before, and it's a gelatinous blob. Nope, seriously, that's what it is. So there we go, all of our guns are now on. Let's just recharge that one, and let's maybe put a spare one there. So here we go. Once you get enough platinum, sentry guns become very, very easily inaccessible. You need platinum bars for them, but once you've got it, it's actually not too bad. So there we go, that's the trap. That's our peanut butter trap. And there we go. Oh, hang on. Oh, there he is, right. So basically our enemy is up there. So this is not quite worked out to plan. Yeah, not sure what to do here. Let's just maybe start taking this down. So it's going well, isn't it? So there we go. Look at my favorite sentry guns. Oh yeah, that works beautifully. Now, the only problem is the sentry guns do attract the enemy with it. So naturally you can see that enemy is pretty much just continually going to stay there. So I just build myself a little bunker, and every time I shoot, I think it draws it out. But yeah, this is tough, and as the sun sets, this thing is pretty tough. And I think these are the flaws. What I should have done with 2020 hindsight is done exactly that column of sentry guns on the other side, on the right, so it would create a killing zone inside. And I may do that. I may do some experimentation with that in the near future. We'll maybe do one of each boss baddie, and we'll see how quickly we can defeat them with a mass of sentries. But there we go. This is the gelatinous blob. It's like some weird kind of, if you've ever played Warhammer 40k, it reminds me of the Tyranids. I don't know why, it just does. Maybe, oh no, do you know what? It reminds me of the brain bug from Starship Troopers. That's what it reminds me of. Oh, here we go, and it's finally aggressed, and it's firing jelly blobs at us. You jelly bro? Well, not really, no. So what I'm trying to do is just coax it over here, but it's not working quite well. So let's just build a bit more of a statue up. So blah, 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 blah. It's actually not that tough to kill, to be quite honest with you. Just keeping on the move continually. There we go. Oh no, sentry guns kind of saw it. Oh, come on. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Look at that damage. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, son. And then as he gets into the spotlights, he's kind of out of the way again, which is a bit annoying, but I think he's being continually shot by one of the guns, so it didn't quite work. I should create a complete encompassed killing zone. I think that's the key here. Because they obviously go towards whatever's aggressing them, and as you can see, it's trying to run towards that sentry gun. So yeah, not quite working, but anyway, we're killing it. Look at that, blap blap blap. There's our trusty, I think, rifle that I've got, don't know what it is, seems to do the job. We're killing it quite categorically, and there we go. So there's only one more bit to kill, so I'm going to kill it, because hey, let's do it properly. And this is the last lot of sort of gelatinous, suspicious looking blob eye. Look at that, it does look suspicious, doesn't it? Anyway, he doesn't look like he's actually even hurting me either. That's a bit weird. And then our sentry guns get on him, and then we can just finish him off. Oh, here we go, me being my OCD. And as we pull him out, you see the sentry guns pretty much rip him to pieces. I'd say that's tactic approved right there. Sentry guns are amazingly good in this game. And I think this is on like a level, I think a level 5 planet, something like that, level 4, 5. So you know, the fact they're doing that much damage is actually pretty good. We'll do mass experimentation with sentry guns, I think. We're maybe even going to need to do a mini ARSE labs on it because it needs a proper killing field for it. But anyway, super fast forward now. What I'm going to show you here is the crafting of really what that jelly then turned into, because you drop like a gelatinous blob or cube or something, and that thing gets turned into effectively a tech upgrade, which then opens up, I believe, the X quadrant. There we go. So this is the super deep space. This is where all the end game level way to think of it. Now the only problem is fuel. That's going to be a problem, so I need to find some fuel. There we go. So X, and we now have access to the X area. Now I don't know if I can get there. Let's just see if I can. Yes, I can. So, awesome, nice. So as we super fast forward, well, rather not, as we go into hyperwarp to it, let's just talk about what we'll find there. In the X quadrant, you find all of the ores that you haven't seen so far, like rubium and aegis salt and things like that. So it's all like the next level of stuff. So while that was currently the last boss battle, which is a big shame, trust me, it's not so bad, because in reality, this is where we then start to see a lot more stuff like the aegis salts and stuff. So oh, actually we've got aegis salt, I apologize, it's a rubium and things like that. But anyway, so let's go and actually look for this stuff. So there we go. So I've done super crazy fast forward. I don't know how this looks, we'll see when it comes out, but I wanted to just show you really, because a lot of the game so far, I'm showing you a lot of the game is shooting, killing bosses, things like that, but I don't show you this bit much because it's quite dull. I don't want to kind of just labour the point, but this is what I generally find the most therapeutic part of the game is the digging and hunting and finding of ores and stuff. And I wanted to show it because I think there's just something incredibly therapeutic about it, as I say. And I think when you're looking to get into, if you're looking to get into this game, let me give you one tip: that gravel and sand are your friend, because you can mine insanely fast. So hopefully you're seeing that as I kind of mine all of the sand. You see that I'm going through it pretty quick. But also when you get to loose sand and loose gravel, it does that. It just collapses and you get a whole raft of stuff coming through to you. So it's really worth your while doing, because you can pick up stuff incredibly quickly. As we're now in the X sector as well, we're finding uranium and plutonium, things like that. So we're now fueling of the starship is no longer a problem, because those things are incredibly potent fuels. So I can go anywhere in the galaxy now pretty much. So you won't find stuff like iron. Coal is getting rarer as well. So all of these are all things that you'll probably need to spend. You'll need to keep going back to the alpha quadrant or even the beta quadrant for. Because you won't find much of them here, but what you'll find is all of the high value stuff like diamonds and platinum and stuff like that, and you'll find so much of them that money, ISK, as I keep saying, no longer becomes a problem now, because you will just find astonishing amounts of ore that you can turn into pixels using the refinery. So yeah, hopefully seeing that. And again, I'm quite, as I look at this footage, I'm laughing at the fact that it's super fast forward, because it really does show you how much ground we cover. And also kind of how much, I mean, it's kind of engaging, isn't it? I really love watching. I love the mining piece of this quite a bit. It's very, as I say, therapeutic, but it's almost funny watching it as well, because you realize actually how much ground you do cover. I'd say that light is always a problem, but this is why having a 3D portable printer is actually a good thing, because what you can do now is just you need 50 pixels, but that gives you one cheap light, and that's actually not too bad. That's bearable, let's say. And there we go. So look, and that little trip there, we even ended at the surface, and we can beam straight back. So perfect. So as we start to refine everything, we then can start to see what actually we've got to use. So again, hopefully that's making sense. So slow down, and we now have the ability to build the sets of armor, and we have the ability to build obviously a lot more, because every tech upgrade gives you more stuff, so it gives you access to a lot more things, and these things then obviously just keep going. So you get like 4 or 5 different tech upgrades to the end. Now I will assume that eventually they will become there will be more bosses, there'll be more things to do, I think, because once you get to like the X sector, the game kind of stops. There's nothing really more to do once you've got here. So I imagine it over time, once they add more content in, there will be more higher level content certainly there for you. But it's a very engrossing thing, just going up the tech ladder. to the point where you kind of, yeah, you are playing upgrade, games, but that's not a bad thing. And I think at the end of the day, when you kind of realize, what you can do with the game, and just the things as well, so you don't have to mine, you can go and explore, and you'll find really, exciting stuff. Like, I think I found that chest, but it had like the blueprint for a crystal unicorn. Why on earth I'd need a crystal unicorn? Well, actually, the question you should be asking is, why hasn't every ship in the universe got a crystal unicorn on the front of it? And that's the kind of weirdity of this game. It is slightly odd. And also for CC, we got a wiring station here as well. So, building sentry guns is now pretty easy. I think I've got hundreds of platinum bars as well. So, you could even just have like, throwaway turrets that, once you've set them down, obviously you can't recover them, but you can just have them, these turrets that create a bit of a base for you. You can even use them as an offensive thing as well. So if you're coming across against a very tricky bunch of people, you can actually just lure them towards the guns, and that will kill stuff. So there we go. That's our new suit of armor as well. Looks very green. It's made from purest green, as Percy would say from Blackadder. And it looks like someone sneezed on it. I agree. But basically that's the beauty of this game, is that every step you take forward, you get that little reward in your brain to think, yes, I'm moving forward. And I think that's probably the beauty of this game, pretty much in conclusion. So there we go. Next time, we're going to show you a bit more, I think, base building. We're going to try it once again, and we're going to see if we can actually build something without a planet landing on it. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.